It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
At least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Sounds like the perfect soldier. And he even flies.
Aerial cavalry. A full-grown griffin is a force of nature. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that.
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters, still young, pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path. Even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
Doesn't every good parent?
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about. Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat. Good taste. Then tell me this, Lucanus. Suppose you had a contract to assassinate me. Would you take it?
Depends. What did you do?
Nothing. Maybe I pissed off the wrong guy at a bar.
That's trivial. It's beneath it grows.
What if I stole the guy's money?
Then he couldn't afford to pay us.
You're avoiding the question.
Rook, welcome to the Hosberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
I could sense blight before we were through the alluvion. What's happening?
That's the question, isn't it? Oh, one of them.
The blight's always a problem in the Anderfells. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hosberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
How many people here? We need to help them.
Of course. FK and I are doing what we can.
So you keep your eye on the big picture for now.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much?
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the Blight's usual song.
Sensing the blight is one thing. What you're saying is concerning.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Okay, this all sounds awful. And we're standing in the middle of it, which is normal for me.
We know.
So what's the plan?
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the Blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the Blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
So you two are studying the blight?
We already had a reputation for following the weird stuff.
And it's only gotten weirder.
To help, we need to know what we're dealing with.
Leave it to me.
Ah, merci. I knew we could count on you.
Just be careful out there. Even for a warden, it's not pretty.
Things looked bad before we saved that village up north.
You saved that village by collapsing a building. The first warden was furious at us.
But we did the right thing. It might go better this time.
I'll get back as soon as I can.
Oh, hello. Another day.
All right, let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's caves on the far side of the village. We can start there. Lavendel Village. Whatever happened here looks like Demeter's Crossing.
It's still standing, and I'll fight to keep it that way.
There. That's our blight boil. Got a sample. Guessing they'll need more than one.
Knowing how Antoine experiments. Yes.
More trouble.
Got the sample.
Mierda.
Dark spot. Don't drop your guard.
Everyone all right?
Nothing a pair of wardens can't do.
Champion, stay ready. Got it.
The Mera's crossing. Now this. If this is a window into what the gods can do with a blight.
I've never seen a surge like this.
Be ready. Here we go.
This was farmland.
People used to live here.
The Blight took it recently.
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
Are you looking for an excuse to fire that thing?
An ogre.
I think it thinks this attack's the boys. It's not happening.
We need to stop it. Down.
Everyone still alive?
And another sample.
I think we've got enough.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine. Light gummed up the entrance. I think we can cut through.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And Rook? I believed you, but to hear it? I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the Blight.
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First
You
Warden,
were told to stay away. Or does your allegiance to us no longer matter?
My allegiance is to all of Thedas. If you won't listen...
Finish that thought, and I promise you'll pay the price for your insolence.
Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. He's telling the truth. The Blight has changed, and that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
I took the same vows as you. We're on the same side.
You're on thin ice. You tampered with a ritual that unleashed blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
I'm a warden. I know what I'm doing. Why won't he listen?
You're a good warden. And don't catch yourself thinking otherwise.
Maybe. But I need the Order's help.
There's you, Davrin, me, and Antoine. We make it work with the four of us. You and Davrin work with your new friends. Antoine and I will track Darkspawn and the Blight.
In so-called peace, vigilance. If we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgar'nan had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
He finally agrees to meet for a report, then he all but calls you a liar.
I think you were included in that.
Thanks.
You need to head back to Weishaupt.
Soon. We can risk a small delay before we're missed.
We'll continue helping here for a while, and help you on the way if we can.
Davrin told us about your friend, the Viper.
If he changes his mind about taking our joining ritual, or needs anything from us,
We'll do what we can.
When I left with Varric, I know some wardens thought I was...
reckless? A show-off? A loose cannon?
Thanks for catching me up.
You do what you have to.
Why change now? Just remember, you're not the only one fighting. Too lonely that way.
What is this place?
Little more than a ruin to the people here.
The wetlands are full of secrets. A lot of them buried over time.
The second Great Blight, strange curses, mysteries in the woods. The stories go on.
Have you always studied the stranger side of the Blight?
Not on purpose, but when your reports have a certain pattern to them.
We gained a reputation for following the weird stuff.
It's come in handy now. Be careful out there.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Keep dreaming. It's good to have goals in life.
The real dream is getting him to take a nap. So what brings you by?
Nice to have a fellow warden on the team. Our paths may not have crossed at Weishaupt, but we have one experience in common.
Ah, the joining.
The moment they handed us a chalice with archdemon blood.
And the moment we took a sip.
What were we thinking?
My head was exploding. You tell me.
I was thinking, what's happening? I'm dead and don't know it.
I did know it, and I was pissed. If I was going to die drinking, why couldn't it be 100-year-old brandy?
The first warden drank it all.
Good times.
Yeah. Though I can't say I've got it all worked out, being a warden.
Feeling lost?
What's the problem with our illustrious leader? Is the first warden always a pain, or is it me?
A bit of both. You know he's all about discipline.
And I'm not.
Well...
Okay, so maybe I like to keep things loose.
And the first warden wants everything lashed down tight. I can see why you might feel a little lost.
Well, I find out we've secretly raised griffins this whole time, and you get to play with them. How did I miss that meeting?
Nothing personal. I only got called in when the Gloomhowlers showed up.
The biggest fight we've ever seen is headed our way, and the Grey Wardens are on the sidelines.
You and I are in the thick of it.
Not exactly the army of legend.
Legend in the making. You go to war with the army you have. Weishaupt will come through. Along with a very noisy griffin who'll squawk the enemy to death.
No armor can withstand that.
Don't encourage him.
Won't happen again. See you two around.
You've been to the farmlands? There's a family. Voss. I'm close with him, with Ursa. They spoke of the Blight. The Blight. Before all of this happened. They knew. But if they knew, why aren't they here?
If I find anything, I'll let you know.
Be ready.
Signs of a family that disappeared. They knew the Blight was coming. But how? And what went wrong after?
I'll make this quick.
Nice move.
They're down.
Those statues. They're Chantry sisters.
They're meant to look serene. The effect's somewhat ruined now.
With Blight pushing through the cracks, it's a wonder they're still standing.
Digging over the same areas. What was he searching for?
Get ready.
Whatever this echo was in the well, I think it possessed them. The more people go near it, the more it gets in their minds.
It offered a way out, then kept them in place. Was it all a game?
That journal mentioned clearing boards from the well. It was sealed away once. Whatever's down there, whatever you did to those people, I won't let you do it again. We're sealing the well. Sealing. It's done. No more echo. For now.
The Voss family? Did you find anything?
There was something in the well. It got to them.
But we aren't supposed to listen. Stories. But it was sealed.
It's sealed again.
When it's safe to go back, I'll bury it even deeper for Ursa. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay, that's enough. Quiet now. Fine. Who wants a treat?
You know, bribery just encourages bad behavior.
It's only a bribe if I had a treat.
Ah. Ends justify the means.
A little white lie to quell the riot.
Are you sure it's little to them? And there's your answer.
Come on, guys, give me a break. Rook?
I'm sure a big, strapping warden like you can handle a cat and a misfit skeleton.
What if Manfred bites?
Probably just baby molars. This all sounds like too much fun for me.
Wait, you can't just leave me with it.
Good luck with that.
With all my regards. Oh, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emric.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
So, I've heard people call necromancers mortalitasi. What's the difference between them and the Mornwatch?
Oh, all Navaran necromancers are mortalitasi. The Watchers are a special order within them.
Very fancy.
We've certain privileges and attendant responsibilities.
What's the Mornwatch do?
Our first duty is safekeeping the Grand Necropolis and preparing the funerary dead. Another is stopping misuse of dark magic and necromancy.
Must keep you busy.
Not often, but on occasion.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead, a vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil.
What do watchers, watch for?
There are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the Fade Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
Anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods, but nothing definitive, perhaps only shivers in the void.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navarra.
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Horrible demon ceremony or peaceful garden ceremony?
The latter, ideally.
Can do.
I'll let you know when it's time. Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side.
Emric,
Have I got this right? Manfred's a wisp?
A wisp of curiosity, to be precise.
And this wisp was so curious about our world, it just couldn't wait to come here, animate a body, and serve you tea?
Manfred enjoys boiling the water. He's mesmerized by the steam.
Trouble nearby.
Rain incoming!
Way to get it done. Be ready.
A lot of dead bodies. You don't burn them?
Navarra is dedicated to preserving the deceased. I suppose the displays of the Grand Necropolis seem a bit exotic to you all.
Usually when I send something to its death, it stays that way.
Quick, turn around!
Careful! Look left!
gods.
Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
No one's going to seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Let's continue.
So, what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon. Surprised there was enough to bury.
Do you know, I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So, the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants?
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Right. Just on the side.
This way, Rook.
You were right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census.
Examining the graves?
You'll need to light these candles as well. Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
The Grey Wardens have some unusual traditions too.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me. Ah, look here.
Hi. Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but we've one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Waking up one day with magic must have felt lucky.
It put me on a brighter path. Oh, I was such a morbid child.
No.
Everything terrified me when I first arrived.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead. Please, light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality. All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body.
Yes, he's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell. Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good Watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
It's part of life.
I wish I'd had your equanimity when I was younger. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, in sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
That sounds great. Thanks.
Would you mind letting Manfred pour? He does so love seeing the steam rise from the cups.